Good afternoon, everyone. Very excited today to join you into lunch and learn break. We try to make it as much as we can more interactive session, and I'm here just to share with you some tips, tactics, strategies, and personal experiences in what it takes to become to manage and deliver high quality tech projects in remote worlds. So first of all, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Hussein. I'm a technology project manager. I have been into the project management field for almost 6 years, into technology over 7 years. I'm also volunteering as a technology project manager for Scotch Tech. And today I would like to share with you my experiences, what it takes to deliver high quality projects. So watch out for lots of notes on about tools, strategies, team engagements, communication, and so on. So we go through 4 parts. First of all, what is a remote culture for when it comes to project management? The part 2, we're going to go through the right tools as a project manager that you need to use to deliver your projects. Part 3, we are going to talk how to thrive as a remote employee of project management. And the last part, what keys to successful project delivery. So as I said, just brief overview about myself. I had a Master Science in Mobile Communications from Harvard University. I have been a project manager for 7 years so far, working for different companies from tech and infrastructure businesses. I'm also a transformation coach. I've been in the coaching industry for the last 5 years, and an SME business coach. So we work on how we help companies transform from being just a physical environment to a remote and hybrid environment. So since the COVID-19, the remote culture has completely transformed the way we deliver business and projects. So I've worked in different companies. First of all, start from the telecom sector, then transition to network solutions manufacturers as a project manager, and lately working for Abstract Group as a business analyst, and also joining Scotch Tech in a volunteering basis and a temporary time. I'm also a founder and CEO of a company called Moon Elite, stands for ME Group, a UK-based consultancy company for the last 3 years. So what I'm going to share with you is more of a mixture of business experience plus project management technology. So first of all, that we need to think of is a remote culture. And I personally call this a remote culture because since COVID-20, 2020, as you know, every one of us has completely changed the way we deliver projects and businesses. COVID hits all of us, and now we have to reshape the mindset. I would even call it remote mindset. That means when you work in a remote business, you have to shift your way of thinking and how things are operated, how we can work, and how we can deliver projects in the same way we are in a very interactive environment. So the first I always work with is called the company operating system. So when we think of a remote culture, what's a remote company operating system? And as we know, Scotch Tech is all about a remote business. It's all about a remote organization, but also maintaining the same level of delivery standards. So first of all, you need to think of what is the remote culture as a business. Is basically, if we think of a company or a remote culture for tech companies, is what is the operating systems, how decisions are being made when our leaders and managers are not there in the room, how we can think from a project management way of thinking and culture to deliver projects in a remote world. So, and when we talk about a culture, we have to think about 5 ways. Before 2020, we think that delivering remote projects, as you can see in the picture on the left, everything is pride, but the reality is different, as you can see in the right image. So we have to rethink of our way, how we can prepare ourselves to deliver projects in such environment that we can make sure we have the elements. And we're gonna go through this in more details. So we need to think of 5 qualities of building a remote culture for project management. Number 1 is the vision of the business, communicating the clear values, and what are the strategic goals. And these are 3 blocks are going to build the clarity for our business. The clarity as a project manager. And why I'm saying this? Because whenever we kick off any project, I have to remind the team about the business vision or the project vision. What we are is our ultimate goal, what we are going after, because being very clear on what we're going after, we can make all the team members aligned on the project. This is something important. My project management get involved into the day-to-day tasks, planning or like resource management, and the team forgetting we have one vision as a team, which is, for example, to build the application or to getting that platform to our cross-line. So whatever that specific vision, then that vision is driven by some specific goals. So we have to think of the business vision. For example, if we think of the Scotch Tech vision, is they want to mobilize the tech industry of providing solutions, which we go through the above, which is mobilizing the UK's tech talent for good. So reminding ourselves about the business vision or the specific project delivery vision is a very critical thing. Then what are core values? So of course, core values determines how we communicate and deliver our work. So we have to make sure, for example, some businesses, their core values is about commitment, is about excellence of delivery, is about growth and transformation. So defining our core values when delivering projects to the team, this is something important. Then driving the calls. All these 3 elements together gives the team a very clear clarity on where we are going. And the good thing, again, we are a remote project manager, right? So that means we need to think of a system or a platform which can help us. So whatever I have been through together right now is going to be shown in a very clear, systematic way, right? So as I said, think of a clarity. I'm giving you some examples of these values: integrity, excellence, commitment, growth, transparency. And of course, in Scotch, we have quite different values that the business working on. 1 second. Okay. So also another template that we use for company vision template or project vision, which is vision, goals, core values, and how we deliver these goals on the projects and the quality standards and metrics. That's all of these tools. We are going to introduce one tool which I have been using for a number of years, that making sure the team have a very clear strategic goals in where we are going with the projects. Something which I use, by the way, this is nothing to do with anymore. It's more of to do what I use personally. So I'm sharing my personal experiences from running a business for the last four years, whether hybrid projects or remote projects or in a working environment projects. It's called Metron Growth System. Metron Growth System is a cloud-based platform that's used to have one page plan for the company strategic plan lead with a very clear goals and values and metrics. So the great purpose of this platform, it enables the team to have a high visibility of the work and also what are their key priorities. So everything is systemized by the team, where you can have one page plan which includes the vision, the core values, the core metrics for each team members, the key priorities, the teams. So the good thing is how to have a high visibility, because when it comes to remote work, one of the challenges is communication. So we need to enable the team to have a high visibility of where we are going, how much they have achieved in their work, how progress the project is going on. So having such something called a one-page plan, it really helped and enabled the team to have a track of their work and how they are delivering the projects. So you can see core values, core system, metrics, what specific metrics that they need to meet for that project, what targets that we have made so far. So it enables the team to have a very high visibility. Also, it enables the team to have to see their priorities. So you have each individual team member. Also, you can communicate directly with the executive team what priorities you have, what tasks they are currently working on, so that you can make sure tracking the team members are delivering. And also, we have something called promotion system. So whoever team member performed really well for that specific month, they get rewarded for the number of tasks they have achieved. So this is something really important. Engagement and tracking and also visibility for the team. That's something gives the team motivation to deliver results. The other part, which is in terms to for tools and tactics, how we can have collaboration. But before I move on, I would like to ask the team, what number of tools do you actually use when it comes to managing projects? Apart from maybe the ones we are showing, just see what different tools, strategies, as a team members, when it comes to managing projects that you actually use or you find it helpful to deliver projects. So I'm just going to give a chance to the team to here to share with us any insights and tips.
Modern that said Jira.
Jira, yes. This is one of the great platforms for planning. What else?
Google Workspace.
Anyone wants to share something? Sorry, what is it?
I said, sorry, Google Workspace can be quite helpful. We've got Trello
yes,
as well.
Trello, Asana, that's one of those tools for planning projects. Yes. So these are some of quite common tools that we can use. But the key part for me when it comes to delivering a project is not about the tool itself. It's about the results that I can get from using tools. If I can get another tool that enables me to get better results with less time and effort, I would just go for it. So there's enormous tools. There's unlimited, I would say, so many tools nowadays when it comes to project delivery, especially with the emerging of AIs. Now we have an AI project manager, not even the what we call the hybrid project management. So we are transitioning into our era by using different AI tools. But that's something, another session, maybe we can another time arrange for this session, how to use AI as a project manager. So in terms of collaboration, all of us, we need to communicate. So we could use Zoom, like now we are using Zoom, or we can using Teams. So any other different platform or Google Meet, whatever platform that your business is using for collaboration. For group communication, one communication, still Slacking is the number one tool. I would honestly say Slack is an amazing tool that we use for communication, also document management. Another one for meeting minutes, or sometimes even you can use it for action tracker, is called Notion. Notion is also a great tool that we can use to communicate meeting minutes and actions together. Other tools for project planning, we use Jira. As Alex said, Jira boards are amazing to manage tech projects, especially because they use the Kanban boards, and there's many other features. For project plan, I personally always use ClickUp. So the high-level milestone plan is always allocated for ClickUp to manage different projects. And also the last one is Metron Growth System that used for team visibility and the project vision, the strategic goal. So to make sure all the team members are aligned on a broader goals. Because when it comes to project delivery, it's a team effort. It's not an individual effort. So if the team gets results, they all get rewarded for that specific. So this is what we need to think of, a team mindset. If we have one goal to deliver a project. Okay, other tools which we use it, when it comes to tech projects, we have the research phase, the user research first before moving to design and development. So when it comes to user research phase, we use a lot of amazing tools. One is called Miro for like what we call planning layouts or mind maps and so on. I also use another amazing tool called Mural. Mural is a great tool for a lot of models, especially like this is Canva models and other related project planning. And the last one, which is I would say the one of my favorite tools called Mind Mister for mind mapping. When it comes to laying out the plan, laying out the key phases before I transferring this into click up and click out. So when it comes to the planning phase or the user research phase, these are one of the best three tools that we can use to do that. Now, once we had the culture, as I said, the mindset of working remotely, some specific tools that we can use to deliver the projects. Now we need to prepare ourselves for remote, the best practices to. And number one, of course, when we think of as a remote project manager, okay, is the desk preparation, the space where I'm going to work on my project. Because remember, we are transitioning from a physical environment to a remote environment. But again, from my experience, setting the right equipment, being in the right working place and environment is so important to set yourself into the mood. Because, for example, one of the key things I do when it comes to the starting off my day, I always dress up for my work. So I don't use, because so I put myself into the working mode environment. And also I make sure I've got all the tools that I need in my desk when it comes to the camera, the microphones, the headsets, everything is placed and ready to be environment, good lighting, because having the right preparation for delivering your project is so important. I have tried one way, so I'm not like quietly dressed up when my work is completely different when you set your brain into the delivery mode. That's something important. I would always recommend to have a separate working space. Because some people like are quite extrovert. So extrovert people, they would love to work into interactive environment. So they work into hybrid offices or like remote offices where they can work in. So finding what is working best for you, if you are an introvert or extrovert person, that sits you into the right mode, that's so important. Okay. The other part is also separate your workspace. All right. When it comes to starting my day as a project manager, of course, I get breakfast first, have a shower, get myself into the mode, and preparing my workspace for deliver project. One more thing which I always highly recommend, have a structured schedule. Because we have a very common saying, what gets scheduled gets done. I'm not saying being very precise with that schedule, but when you schedule something already for the day, you know how to structure and make your day as productive as possible. So I always use what we call the Notion calendar and make sure schedule whole my day. Like what is the morning walking time, breakfast time, lunch breaks, meeting time, what's called the walking and mental health time, which is we're going to go through. This is something important when it comes to delivering remote project. So having a clear schedule, and it's good if it's a written schedule. Because what I have noticed, using applications to schedule things is not as effective when you write things down. It's something to do with your subconscious mind as a project manager. When you have a note and you write down what you're planning to do for the day or for the week, that really has an immersive impact on how you deliver things, because your subconscious mind knows what I need to work on for now. It's completely different than when you use just specifically apps or application. Sometimes you get distracted. When it comes to meetings, I agree, using some calendars to make sure those meetings are scheduled clearly. But again, writing down with a notebook is something really crucial. Managing your energy, because sometimes when you work remotely, let's say you work for the first 90 minutes and then you feel like your energy drips down. So having break times for delivering projects is really important. There's many strategies. Some people, they have the 60-60-30. Some people, they have the 90-15 strategy. So 60-60-30 strategy where you work for 2 hours and you have half an hour break. The 112-minute strategy where you work for 1 hour and a half and then you take 15-minute break. Some people, they use 25 minutes and they take 5-minute break. So find what works best for you just to make your energy up to optimal. And we will go through this when it comes to mental health as a team and how to make yourself performing really well. All right. The third part, when it comes to team motivation and productivity, of course, when it comes to delivering projects, it's all about resource management and team. And I'm gonna share with you also what I do from when it comes to running the business from different projects. Is we do something called the wellness competition. Wellness competition is resets a day of the week, right, for participation. So let's say we have a team of 6 people. So we agree in a competition starts on a certain day of the month for 30 days. We say every day that you go for a walk or you go for a cycling, you do such an activity of a mental health for at least, let's say, 30 minutes, you need to document it and send a picture into a group so that we record 1 point for each time that you have done that certain activity. And then at the end of the week, we collect the points. Let's say we have 6 people. So for 5 days, they get 30 points. So the ones who gets the highest points for that month and specific week, they get a reward system. So we encourage the team for their well-being by tracking their performance. So when it comes to delivery of projects, I would highly recommend is your wellness, because you are not being in a very interactive environment. You are working remotely. So thinking and rethinking of your mental health and how to re-energize yourself is important. We go sometimes on trips. We go on trips as a team just to reconnect the teams together and engage the teams together as a kind of activities. Or we go for lunches. So you can do different ways to keep the team engaged and motivated. All right. Another one more thing is when it comes to being more efficient as a team members, we think of meetings. So we normally use meetings whether to make decisions or to solve problems. If it's just an update, sometimes we would highly prefer to send an email. Send an email. If there's no key points that we need to discuss during the meeting, we'd prefer just to keep it communication via messages. That's one thing. Also managing our inboxes of emails, making sure we're having only high priority emails, and we use certain tools just to clear out unnecessary emails like from other promotions or marketing or anything, just making sure to have a high priority emails that we work on. So again, engaging the team, having a better communications with them, this is really crucial when it comes to project delivery. One more thing is also, as I said, use meetings of half an hour, 15 minutes, just to discuss key issues or to make new key decisions or to solve certain problems. Like here, I manage one projects. We even though we meet once a week, but we just discuss key changes and solving certain problems, or if there's any roadblocks. If there is no other than these things, we would just focus on the update meetings via Slack. So that's why we make the team's time as more efficient as possible. And also I used to record. That's one of the things. We use like Vivid Yard or in Loom to record something. If they have any problem, just record for 3-4 minutes how to do it and just send it. So efficiency is very important when it comes to project delivery as well. Okay, key to successful project delivery. Before we move on, because I'm quite crucial about the time, before we move on to the last part, I need to ask the team, do you have any questions so far? Either about the culture we have discussed, the tools, the setting up the place, or engaging the teams before we move on to the last part of project success delivery. So I'd like to make this session as more interactive of asking questions. Yes.
Yeah. I have a question. Awesome. Thanks for the presentation so far. Can you all hear me?
You're good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Great presentation. I think it's really coming from like a practical experience. I love the fact that you've actually bring everything together. It's really relatable, and I think I follow through all the slides and content as well. I do have a question about the motivation. It's obvious that within a team, you're going to have people with different perspectives. Like you mentioned, you have introvert, extrovert. And I love how you've actually given an example of incentivizing motivations, like people getting involved, productivity time, maybe going for a walk and then giving them a point. It's just a way for people to look forward to that. But how has the adoption of that been from experience, from your own personal experience? I know some people will adopt that, some people go along with it, some will not. So how do you maintain that balance between those who are more or less like an introvert and those who are extroverts, those who want to participate in, some of those little events, to just keep them energized and then improve their productivity?
Yeah. Thank you, Ole. This is really a good questions because that's what I'm about to talk about next. If I would share one key element to project success in remote projects, I would say one word, which can be a whole topic: communication. Communication is important. When you talk about communication, we are covering three elements: interactions, team engagement, and inspirations. So let me go through each one of them and give you some practical ways on how we did this as a remote business. Interactions, or make sure to check on with the team members. So either through a phone call, either through one-to-one meeting with them, but I'll make sure interact because, as you said, introvert people are quite different from extrovert. Extrovert are outgoing people. They can just initiate this conversation. But introvert, you need to encourage and take the initiatives and talk to them and make sure everything is right and they have. This is one thing. The engagement, we do different things. As I said, one way we do competitions, encourage them. Other way we do virtual coffees and virtual meetings. So every single month we do a virtual coffee or meetups. So we meet together, discuss, and do sometimes different activities, do gaming activities as well. One time we go out for a lunch and dinner. So it gives a sense to the team that we are feeling still into an interactive environment because we still engage and we're still interactive. Other thing, we go a reward system. This is very important. So whenever we run a competition, right, we get people rewarded. Some of them, they get rewarded through coupons. We give them coupons. Some of them, they get rewarded to become the star team member of the month or the star project or the elite performers of the month. Some kind of recognitions. I noticed that this gives them really great inspiration. And for those sometimes are less engaging with team members because of their personality, they want to be engaged. I try to find different other activities that can bring them. Some of them, they do a mini projects and we help them deliver it. And once they achieve and get a success rate, they get rewarded across the team members. And we do kind of appreciation letters to them as well. So there's different activities that we make sure the team are engaged. But again, I would say this again, communication is so important to remote projects. Engagement, interactive, inspiration, reward system. You can think of different ways.
That seems like he's gone. I was thinking it's me. I was like, am I frozen?
Yeah. I mean, like I thought I was also in the same show as you as well. I think he's gonna get back on in a minute.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Having a wee technical glitch.
Hmm.
Really interesting presentation. Oh, he's
Sorry.
back.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Mm.
We all
Okay.
thought it was, oh, there we go.
So, as I said, we can do. I remember one time we had a one-door activity, and we went out into the what we called safari trip. It was for 2 days, but I did it with the other previous company. As the whole team went to a very outdoor activities. I know when it comes to uh, charities and enterprise organizations, different. But the point I'm trying to make here is engage the team members. It's not just about, okay, I know my tasks, I know what I need to work on, okay, I've done my work and that's it. No, giving a sense of feeling that my work is being valued and contributing, and the business is really, really making sure I have got the right. Because again, when it comes to communication, because we need to maintain the mental health of the team members. And this is, lots of tech companies, they have called uh, uh, the chief people officer, or they have clubs like in certain cities, just specializing in keeping the team members engaged in different activities. So I hope that I was able to answer that questions in a way that gets you really valuable information.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. The other part, as I said, to leverage virtual team building. And the best way we do this is through activities, engaging group activities. Either we do it online or we do it physically. All right. One of the things also we do as a team is we want to make sure we train and develop team members. So we run training sessions across the project. So let's say if we believe that certain project needs a certain training for the team members to develop, we would just provide these training sessions, either into an online Zoom sessions or into an interactive group sessions or in a coaching format, whatever the format is. But we make sure we have onboarding training for the team members based on the projects. And also we have something called a resource center where team members can access different platforms, different trainings to develop their certain skills into a project. Because you might not, like one of the key challenges, you might not find a team member who's able to deliver a certain project because of certain skills. And that's what we do. We develop their skills to enable them to work on certain projects. It doesn't have to be 100% fit for a project, but you can be flexibly manage to learn and grow. And I had many situations where I didn't have a full experience in a certain project, but I was able to pick up and learn quickly and really add a great value. So the key summary here is making sure from day one, we connect all the team members and employees with the company strategy and vision and remind them of the project goal. That's so important. That's, the platform that I introduced. You can use different platforms, but having a high visibility is really important of the team, either in a dashboard or in a very graphical format to see people how we are going with the project, how we are progressing, are we aligned with the goals, are we really focused on delivering the ultimate goal of the project. This is something, because sometimes when we do different things, we can kind of shifting or we get stuck into a certain problems. So as I said, when it comes to having a high visibility and communication is really important to help the team members. The last one, also recognition system. So you see, even though I'm talking how to managing tech projects, but I'm really involving too much into planning and tasks because I know these are the obvious things. Because when you think of a tech project manager, you might think, oh, okay, as long as teams knows their workload and actions that need to work on or tickets that they have to close off, and we are still up to the plan according to the budget and maintaining the quality, that's it. No, it's beyond this. It's about communication, engagement, solving problems, supporting the team members, making the team feel and sense we are here to support you to deliver projects. Some project managers, just because of their vibes, because of their communications, and they know how to. I may end up with a story. When they asked Steve Jobs, okay, so there had one argument between the technical team. Was written in his biography. Between the technical teams and Steve Jobs. And one of the technical teams members said, well, Steve, we are the one who is doing the work, right? We have the technical experiences and we work in most of the sophisticated problems and we create the products. So what's your main role? The answer by Steve Jobs was, yes, you're a technical person, but I am the maestro. When I say I'm the maestro, he is the one who's connecting the dots together. He is the one who's bringing all people together to make a final product. So as a project manager, we need to make sure that I need to see the vision of the product, the end result of the product, and how I can help the different cross-functional teams working together as one to deliver that product. So if a remote project manager can achieve this with the maintaining, of course, to the schedule and the budget and the quality standards, that's where we can make impactful results. Thank you for that. So that's all of the presentation. I know the time is quite limited to 1 hour, so I wanted to squeeze things together rather than just having parts 1 and part 2.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Hussein. Does anyone have any follow-up questions based on all of that? That was,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the concision, by the way, the little concise points. But yeah, sorry. Oluyemi, on you go.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I'm just going to piggyback on what you said there, Alex. I think this is a very fantastic presentation, quite interactive too as well. And I know the time won't, it's not enough to do justice to, go into nitty-gritty of all of these details, like Hussein mentioned. But one thing I would like you to just highlight briefly before we end today's few challenges to some of the strategies that you've talked about. Like managing team, we kind of highlight earlier that people are different perspective, right? Not everyone will go on board with your tools. Not everyone will be familiar with those strategies. Not everybody will see it as a way to make them more productive. There'll be pushback here and there, and there's need to be a way to kind of maintain that balance. I know there'll be challenges. So if you could just highlight 1 or 2 challenges from your own experience and how to mitigate those, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. One best practice that we do whenever we kick off a project, okay, I get all the team members together and take them through the processes and the system and how we deliver things. So what tools that we work on, how we deliver things, and what's the expectation from every individual in terms of adhering to these best practices. That's one way we do. And for any one of them, they might have challenges with using technology in a certain way. We make sure we record videos for it. So we record videos on how to use these different tools and strategies, and we have them in our resource center so they can access them whenever they want. 2, coaching is important. Coaching team members is really critical. Coaching is different than training. Coaching is I help you to move from A to B, to cross that bridge. as a coach and helping you to find the solutions. So this is another way we do. 3, understanding people's personalities. It's important. Understanding where team members come from. Because, for example, according to the DISC model, we have 4 personalities. You have the leadership personality. We have the emotional personality. People are quite sensitive. We have the analytical personality, and you have the social personality. So understanding the actual personality type of a team member, it really helps you how to communicate with them, how to get the best outcome. For example, when it comes to just have a very leadership person, make sure they become team leaders or taking high priority tasks. Those are quite analytical, or make sure they work on a very sophisticated problems. Like for now, I had challenge. I had one team member she's quite leadership personality. Another team member who is very analytical. She likes to take the requests, or I would say the actions from the project manager and implement and work them, and they would record it. So when it comes to those with the leadership person, I will make sure they have responsibility and they take the ownership of tasks. And sometimes they go beyond their responsibility, but because I know this is how they perform at their best. So this is really important. Understanding your team members' way of working, it helps you to get the best outcome. Because rather than rather than emphasizing what we need to work on, let me get that from the other way around, from team members first. So channeling them into what we need to do. How can I make sure, according to the way they work, I get the results? So win-win. I make sure they still adhere to the best practices, but at the same time, I'm not going against the way they work, personality.
Awesome.
I'm not pushing it back. Okay. Get the outcome their way, not ours.
Funny that you said that. I was just going to ask a follow-up question, but you just answered that. Because literally you're going to have, realistically, you're going to have people who have different ways of working, right? And if you don't adapt to that, they might tend to slow the team down in a different way. But you just provided an answer to that, understanding how everybody works and then adapting it to, what the culture of the organization is, can actually help them to stay more productive without slowing others down as well.
Yeah, one more thing, as I said, I would highly recommend the recognition system. The reward system is important. Whatever your strategy that you use in the business, that to enable team gets motivated and recognition. Sometimes I do during the meetings. I give credits to people who deliver amazing work, or write them an email for recognizing the great. Some of them, they really get motivated. They give you the best outcome. Just give them recognition from what they have delivered. And again, it's a voluntary work. So keeping someone giving from their own time to deliver projects, but at the same time maintaining a high standard. Like I had another team member, she would deliver to the very high standards, even though she's doing from her own. But they maintaining standards of delivery. This is something, because some people say, okay, I'm not doing a paid work. Why would I have put 100% effort? No. When it comes to delivery standards, it's the same. Whether you do it paid or unpaid, this comes to your values as a person who's come to deliver projects.
Beautiful.
All right.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Further questions, guys? Any other questions from the participants? Please feel free to message me for any help that you need, or reach out to Alex. If you need any help, I'm very happy to help with any tools, even with AIs. I'm happy to help with any AIs. I'm quite, because I come from a technology background, I'm trying to adapt myself to using AI, either project management or marketing or productivity, many different tools that we can use to get the best results. Yes?
Yes. I want to say something. I have no question, but I want to say something. Thank you very much for the presentation. I took some notes and I would like to read them if I have a little time. You touched on important topics. I had an opportunity to compare my own experience and your own. I have been working working remotely as a product owner for 5 years, and I especially noticed that you emphasized the visibility and communication part. I think it's very important in remote working, especially data visualization programs have gained importance in this period, and there has been a radical change in the mindset. Remote working, planning your time is a very important and necessary for life-work balance. And the last thing, the most important thing that ensures the success of the project is communication. I note that, and it's the same in my own work. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And also to add one more point to what you have highlighted in terms of communication and engagement and visibility. What I have noticed, 80% of a lot of successes comes down to the mindset, the way we think about things, how we deliver things, the way we shift our thinking. And as I said, I had a challenge when I was transitioning from being a remote project manager to working physically, because you're still working with the same different mindset, but now because priorities when working in a physical environment is different than when you work in a remote environment. In a physical environment, we kind of focus on the key results. We focus on the tangible things more than the interactive, because interactive is a part of our day. So we're not giving too much focus. We're already interacting with other team members, either during lunch, meetings, a lot. So we're not giving too much focus and priority and emphasis on those things, rather than making sure all project is delivered, milestone is done, we have done such thing, product part is complete. But when it comes to remote, we need to bring the motivation element, the engagement, interactive element. Because as long as we keep that part up, we can see the results coming up from the team. Because once the team member is not being encouraged to do work, that's it. That means we're going to expect delays. We're going to expect challenges and pushing backs. So hopefully that's something I was able to share with you guys. As I said, I'm very happy to share whatever, because here we are giving back experiences to Coach Tech. We are giving back to organization, and that's the outcome. If we see a final product out, that's the amazing pleasure that we have from our work. Thank you, everyone. Any more questions? I'm not sure, Alex, if you are all done or.
One more. Modinat.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I've experienced that in real life for the past 5 years exactly, as I have been working remotely. But what I observed, I really keep my team up till now, even though I've done projects in the past almost 5 years now. We still keep in touch, despite because we used to communicate a lot. Then we used to engage with one another, though our work is remote work, but I think all of us are very beneficial. But the aspect I would like to is, how do you prevent the working from home? There may be like burnout sometimes. You have to meet the deadline. Sometimes you have to work. I normally go for work, but sometimes because we have to work too late sometimes. How do you address that? Yeah.
This is a key important question, but I would highlight to 3 different types of working models and how we tackle everyone. There's task-based working model, then the hourly based working model, task-based working model, and results-based working model. So some businesses, I want you to be from 9 to 5, fulfill these hours, do your work, and you're done. Other businesses, no, there's certain tasks during the week that you need to complete. Let's say 6, 7 tasks that you need to complete. No matter when, doesn't matter when you're going to finish these, or you're doing in the morning, in the evening, but as long as you get these tasks done, you're free for the rest of the week, whatever. Other businesses, they focus on results-based. What impactful results that this team member is bringing to the business, let's say to the project, right? So it depends on how, so if the business is quite flexible of delivering either the work late or like doing just during the morning hours, that's one good point. But the point also you are trying to make here is when I meet the challenge of a deadline, we need to make expectation clear. So if you feel you're not able to deliver certain tasks by a certain deadline, communicate this with the project manager or with the product or whoever in charge of this, so that if you have any specific, because I find the more we communicate and ask, it really make the challenge less and less problem. So I had a situation where they communicate with me, well, I don't think I'll be able to deliver this deadline because of 1 and 2. I got another team member to help them to deliver that, and they got it. Or sometimes we shifted a little bit the deadline. The deadline has to be there always. This is from my own experience, because our subconscious mind using deadline as a forcing system to deliver results. For example, and by the way, the energy that you use to work in a task that takes 30 days, exactly the same energy used for 5 days. It's just how your brain uses that, what we call spread that energy across the month or the week. So deadline are very important as a forcing system to deliver work. But as I said, it's about setting clear expectation with the project managers and communicating any challenges in advance that you have without letting people that you know this task is going to be complete by a certain deadline.